we're just gonna take off from where we left off on the last video. So yeah, this Torrey Holt and Randy Moss, either one, you could put either one at starter. They both will do a good job. Tyreek, the only reason why he's not starting is because of his height. Like, he has the fastest speed pretty much out of most receivers in the game. But because of his size, I just think the bigger receivers, like, they have better catching opportunity, or they just have a higher chance to catch passes, in my opinion, versus Tyreek. Like, he's caught some crazy passes. Like, don't get me wrong. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I might have to try him out later, but his route running compared to everyone else's is just not as good. And that's the only reason why he doesn't start for me. But, yeah, because even boosted his route running, if you see Randy Moss's stats boosted up, his would be better. So that's the reason why he doesn't start. He's the shortest receiver, so that's another reason. And his catching is not the greatest either. So at least compared to the players I have at the moment. But these aren't the best receivers in the game. They're some of the best. Like, at least most people go for him. But I've seen people with a lot of different receivers, and it's just preference, you know. Like the new Calvin, like, if I had him, I don't know how he plays, but eventually I might end up getting him just for his height, and, you know, who knows. But these are the receivers I have. They're not bad, you know. If people look at this roster, these are actually good receivers. So I don't have any backups yet, but for the type of offense I run, I rarely have to even use any other receivers than these three. So that's the only reason why I don't have any backup receivers. Okay, so I have Franco Harris fully powered up. The only reason why he's not in the starting spot is because a lot of people, they like to kick to the fullback on the kickoff, and since Saquon, he comes with X factor, whenever they kick it to my side of the field, I can get even more yards than usual because he has what is he? He has evasive. Oops, hold up. Sorry about that. I don't even think I went over his abilities, so let me just go over those right quick. But yeah, if they kick it to your fullback, so he comes with evasive. I told you guys I like to run stretch plays, so those outside zone, that's the perfect ability for him. And then, since he's a receiving back, and then first one free, I haven't really tested this one out yet, but he's so elusive that I wanted to test this one out. I used it earlier this year with Todd Gurley, I think, way back when the game was out early, and it worked pretty good. Gurley used to be one of the best running backs before Saquon, because even when I had Saquon's ball carrier vision was kind of poor at the time. Now I'm not so sure about that, but it just seemed like a lot more lanes would open up for Todd Gurley when I had him. So that's why I used to have first one free on him, because Todd Gurley, he wasn't the most powerful running back. He was like a balanced back, but he would get tackled, versus where Saquon, he breaks a lot of tackles. So that's why I used to have both of them. So whenever I needed to do certain things, I could just switch either one out. But yeah, I'm testing that out. But yeah, so that's the only reason why he's starting at that spot, just for kickoff return, so he can create some like exciting plays. So let's go to my tight ends. I have some of the best tight ends, in my opinion, in the game, if not the best. Of course, you have the ultimate legend, Tony Gonzalez, and things like that, Shannon Sharp and stuff, but these are like some of the most balanced tight ends when it comes to blocking, receiving, and route running, and speed. So the only reason Travis Kelce is starting is because he has the most awareness. Well, I didn't even notice George Kittle has the most awareness. But his awareness is what, 2 points off. 2 points off. So my mistake on that one. But let's see. Why is he starting again? Is it route running? I think it was well, yeah, what? It seems like I should have George Kittle starting, huh? Let me see. Medium route. Not too much of a difference. Short route. Oh, the spec catch. That's what it is. Oh, and the catching traffic. Okay. So yeah. When it comes to spec catching traffic, that's the only reason why he's starting. Because if you get into the red zone, Travis Kelce is a little bit more reliable. Because you could just throw it up to him. He's only 1 inch taller, but still, if you throw it up to him in the red zone, his chances of catching the pass is like that much better. If you compare 95 to an 89, I mean, of course, that's boosted with the chemistries and stuff like that, but the spec catches, that's just way better. So yeah, that's why some people might wonder why he's starting over George Kittle, but yeah, that's why. George Kittle's, I have him in at the same time, so they're usually both on the field at the same time anyway, so if I decide to throw it to Kittle, he'll be available. But his run blocking, he fits just in that spot because usually if I run the ball, I can motion George Kittle to whatever side that I'm running the ball to anyway, so his run blocking is the best on the team. And then if I need to run the ball, I'll just motion him to whichever side that I'm running to, and then he'll be able to block for me on that side. I already went over Greg Olsen. I could have any other tight end, but I don't really need a third tight end, like if I wanted to, but I'm not going to invest in somebody that won't be on the team late game, so I'm not going to, stress myself out trying to get a temporary tight end because, there's other things that I could do for my lineup that are more important than that. So anyway, I think I went over all of my alignment. I think I showed you guys the speed and all of that. There are way better linemen out right now, like when it comes to overalls, but at this point in the game, these linemen, just for like the amount of coins and things that I have right now, I can't really go buy all of the best linemen, but these guys get the job done, so that's why I kind of and they have the stats that I like. So at least with Armstead, his speed is great. Lane Johnson, his speed is great. Zach Martin, he does his job, and he's a nat, so it's like basically I'm getting a good deal for what he's worth, because that means I don't have to go spend money to go buy anybody. at the moment, and he's already one of the top right guards, I guess, at the moment. I mean, I know there may be some new ones out now, but he still does his job, I guess. So yeah, so yeah. I think I already spoke about everybody on the line. Anybody who's played Madden, they should already know by now that. Excuse me. They should know by now that it don't really matter who you have on your line, because if the AI is gonna let somebody through, they're gonna get through regardless. So I can give them the best chemistries, everything like that, and no matter what I do, whatever adjustments I make, I can have them max protect. I can have them do whatever. I could motion my tight ends to help protect. If they want somebody to get through, they're gonna get through regardless. So that's why it's like I don't really stress myself out over having to have the most overall linemen at all times or whatever. Like, I just have who I have, and they do what they have to do, and they've been doing pretty good for me. So there's room for improvement, and eventually I will change. But for now, these are just, the linemen that I'm using right now. So, all right, let's get to the defense. So, where should we begin? Let's start on the line. I think I already told you about Allen. It's my starter. He's been doing great. Eventually, he'll get a upgrade, and I'm gonna show you. Y'all gonna see a trend on my team. It has to do with speed. But even though he's fast, and there probably is faster, there may even be a faster defensive tackle out there somewhere. I'm not sure who it is, but you guys can go do your research. I just like the way Allen plays. He's really fast. He has the right, stats to complement his abilities. Like block shedding is pretty good, but he already should be getting upgraded by now. And his card, I'm not sure if it's out or not, but when it does decide to come out, that's the next player that I need to get. So for that position, excuse me, he'll be pretty good. This Mean Joe Green, I told y'all about him. I had to power him down. And I'm not even sure how much he's going for on the market right now. 200. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna even stick with him throughout the rest of the season, but just so whenever Allen gets tired, he'll have somebody to sub in. Like, that's the only thing, because I already told y'all I run a 3-4, and in my 3-4 high, they only use one defensive tackle. All right, so right now I got this Julius Peppers, and he's been going crazy. I've seen people with Daniil Hunter and DeMarcus Lawrence and other players like that. But his stats are just so balanced to me. Like, he gets a little bit of everything. Most of the time I have him on a spy anyway, because he's as fast as a linebacker. So anybody who uses mobile quarterbacks, if you just have him out there spying, while the other two linemen are blitzing or putting pressure, then he'll, make sure that no mobile quarterbacks can just do whatever they want on my defense. And I don't really have to go over all of his stats, but you guys can get a good, kind of idea of his abilities. I mean, like, the main stats that you need to look at is just speed. That's pretty much speed, maybe block shedding. Like, let me see something right quick. Catching is good. You know, catching is always good on defenders, but he's on the line anyway. So jumping, that could work if you ever user him. But let's see, block shedding is 92. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not sure who has better stats than him, but there probably is somebody out there. But just for his speed and everything else, I know he doesn't really get through the line tremendously. Maybe like DeMarcus Lawrence, like back when he had his X Factor earlier in the game, DeMarcus Lawrence would get through like almost every play. So yeah, he's good, man. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, for this point in the game, he's a pretty good left end. So I'll just leave it at that. A lot of people have that Aaron Donald. I used to have Aaron Donald, and I still am working to get him back on the team. But just because of my limited funds and things like that, I just went for this Bosa. He was pretty cheap when I got him, and I already had him powered up because I was expecting to eventually use him, because I had already got him through like the Thanksgiving promo and all that other stuff. So I'm like, might as well just keep him on the team because his stats are pretty solid. I know he's not the best linebacker in the game. I mean, left end in the game. But I mean, for what it's worth, he does his job, and that play rec is crazy. Wow. Like, I haven't really given his card too much of a look, but I know he's a really just like he's a serviceable left end, and like, I know I could put a right in at his position, but I gave him the right end chemistry, so since he's at that position, he'll do okay. But yeah, I don't know. Some people may prefer him at his normal position. I just feel like for the type of defense I run, like, since I have LT on that side, he does most of the blitzing from the outside anyway. So just to have somebody to put some pressure on that line to kind of like pick up one of the blockers, like, it'll just give LT the opportunity to possibly come in free on the outside. And since I have a spy on the other side, when I gave Jadeveon that chemistry for the left outside linebacker, it'll give him the chance to come in free on that side. So some people have, Khalil Mack, like I was telling you earlier, but LT, I just like him on this side for whatever reason. I'm not sure how it would work if I switched him. I don't think it would work because I don't know if they didn't give him that extra slot for that ability yet. So I'll just keep him in his original spot, because basically that's the only way to keep him chemmed up. Because if I switched him, it would probably turn off his abilities and everything. So for now, Jadeveon, he's been doing his job over there, bro. He's good at coverage. Like, let me see his zone. Let me see, because I play a lot of zone, even though I do blitz a lot. His block shit is crazy. Play rec is crazy. Power moves, acceleration and speed is crazy. Let's see what his zone, because pretty much what I like to do on my defensive play. So the zone ain't the greatest. I'll give it that. Let's see. LT. Wow, his zone is trash. LT got 48 zone. Oh man. Now you see why I have this Dion, because Dion, he got so much zone. But yeah, they don't have the greatest zone coverage, but for my defense, they don't even really use zone because I blitz with them a lot. So, but for whatever reason, even if the stats don't show it, they play great in the game. So people who understand Madden, they understand that. Like, the stats may not show it on the card itself, but in the game, they react to stuff as good as you would hope that they would. Like, for your expectations, they're not gonna react to everything, or they're not gonna be everywhere like that you want them to be at all times. But for the stats that they have, they're dependable players. So I'll just keep them in those spots for now. At some point I might get that Mac, but for now this is JDR. He's nice. I used to have both of my outside linebackers with X factors for the edge threat elite, but I used to give them with edge threat, and I used to have for X factor, I used to have this unstoppable, because it came with all the 100s. But if I didn't give him that, then he would have had this. I think it was unstoppable. Some people, I don't know. I really can't speak for other people, but I always had like something with the block shed. So I haven't tested out. I tested this on who was it? Aaron Donald, when I used to have Aaron Donald. But it was never really it never really worked for me personally. But I guess you have to get it active. So I mean, since Aaron Donald doesn't start active, you know, it'll take time for it to get activated. But he had trouble breaking through for me, just me personally. I don't know, some other people, he might work for their defense, but for whatever reason, I never really saw anything amazing from Aaron Donald at the time I had him. That's the only reason why I don't have him on my roster right now. Like, I know he's great. He works for other players, for other people, but at the moment, you know, I haven't seen enough from him to just, you know, make me have to have him on my team. Like, if I had to have him, I would definitely save up and get him, but I've had him 3 different times. I've had him like 3 or 4 times, the 97, and I've either sold him for money because he's worth more as money, or I've just used his training for something else, because he gives so much training that, you know, just to make sure all of my other players are upgraded to the levels that they are. Like, he was useful in those areas. So I had him about 3 or 4 times. I did the Team of the Year set back when they used to have those packs in the marketplace or whatever. And then I would just do if I got somebody I didn't want, I would just either go to the set, and then I would just keep doing it until I got Aaron Donald. And it usually didn't take that many tries. Like, I think the first time I even did the set, I got him on it was either my first or second try. And after that, I pulled him just by doing the Team of the Year set. and it didn't really take many tries. So um, that's when I either sold him for coins when he was actually worth the coins. I don't know how much he's going for right now, but that's the only reason why I don't have him. But anyway, yeah, that just explains why I don't use X factors on my linebackers right now, because I just noticed that if you put the X factors on safeties, man, depending on your style of defense, safeties with X factors are just crazy, bro. Like, I will just give you an explanation right quick. Um, so I'll just start with the free safety. There's a lot of better free safeties than Minka probably right now. Like, I'm not sure. I've never even used the 97 Brian Dawkins yet, but I've seen people, or I've used him on other people's teams, like when I've played squads and I've been on somebody else's defense, and he feels good, that Brian Dawkins. So I'm not sure, like, just his elusiveness, the way he moves. I like the way he feels when you use him, but I never actually personally had him on my team to test him out enough to really say how good he is. And I'm not sure which other free safeties are better, but for now, this he's fast. Like, if you just look at his speed, his stock speed is just crazy. 94, 90, 97 excel. He gets good coverage for what he is, a 97, without the chemistry boost. And if anybody was wondering why I gave my team sprinter, I mean, I could have some people told me that I should choose to have this brawler on, like, my lineman or something like that. But for now, I didn't want to lose that extra acceleration. So that's one reason. But sprinter it works for my team. It gives them that extra speed boost. Two extra speed and 2 extra excel. So 2 agility, 2 strength. I don't really know how much significance of a difference that is. I guess it'll affect maybe your offensive line and your defensive line. And that could be a reason why, if people are getting through the offensive line quicker than usual, that could be the reason why. But and then that could have an impact on your defensive line. If they run the ball against you, it might be a little bit more difficult for you to get through their offensive line. So that could play a factor into it. Other than that, though, it just doesn't really seem like it's affecting my team that much, to a significant amount where I'm like, I have to give them something else. But that speed, I always, I told y'all the theme of my team is speed, so that's just why I have it for now, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Enforcer, you have to have that on safeties. It just does so much for fumbles, because I play on aggressive tackling and I play on conservative. I think it's whenever, I forgot what it's called, but whenever the quarterback does like a read option or something like that, my defense will focus on the quarterback instead of the running back. So I don't play on aggressive coverage like that, but I play on aggressive tackling, because even though it gives them a higher chance to break tackles, I use most of my tackles anyway. So if I can't make the tackle, then that's on me. But if I still can't make the tackle, just the way my defense is set up, if one of these defenders happens to be in the area, it's always good to have that enforcer on them, because if they happen to get that hit with the aggressive tackling activated, this guarantees the tackle. And since the computer is going to hit stick for you, I thought this used to give you a higher percent chance of fumbling too, but I guess they might have changed that, because I used to think that it said when you hit stick. Well, no, actually that's the other way around. If you put on aggressive tackle, you have a higher percent chance of fumbles, and aggressive tackling most of the time will give you those hit stick animations, or at least a good percentage of the time, not all the time, because I've seen so many games where I've had aggressive tackling on, and a lot of times they don't hit stick when they tackle. But you have a higher percent chance of that happening, and since Enforcer gives you that hit stick animation a lot, and playing on aggressive tackling gives you that higher percent chance of causing fumbles. That's one reason why Enforcer on pretty much anybody with good hit power is just like something that you just have to have. I know his hit power is not the best, but he, it's pretty good to have that. I mean, you just need it. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, Lurker, everybody knows Lurker is crazy. I gave him universal coverage, and I gave him shutdown corner, so he can have tighter coverage and more interceptions on contested catches, because a lot of people like to use Most, and a lot of people have X factors on a lot of their receivers, so that's why I have that. Balanced defense. Somebody told me about this earlier in the year. I used to have lockdown, and it gives you a boost in like man zone, play rec, and some other stuff. But then somebody showed me this balanced defense, and I gotta look at this actually, because I need to see if that's what I need to keep on my roster or not. So you get a boost in pursuit, tackle, block shed, one man coverage, one zone, catching, impact blocking, power, finesse, press, and play rec. So I think that's why somebody showed me. They said that block shed, that one boost to block shed, is why you should get balanced defense. Because I don't know if lockdown gives you that. I can look just to double check, but let's just double check that one time. Let's see, lockdown, do you get any block shed? Okay, so it gives you a boost in man end zone twice, but you don't get any block shed out of that. So I can understand. I mean, lockdown could be the better option now at this point in the game, but I've already kind of invested in balanced defense, so that's the only reason why I have it active right now. But I may eventually change to lockdown, because that's like one of the only other ones that I would pick out of the rest of these. So let's move on. All right. So next up, I have Jamal Adams. I'm not gonna go too much, because pretty much he's almost like just about the same as Minkah Fitzpatrick, but he does have tackle supreme because he doesn't get universal coverage. So that's the only reason why he gets tackle supreme instead of universal coverage. Other than that, I have him even though I do have Pat Tillman, because I use a specific type of defense, and since he is starting, it just works for my defense the way that I have it set up. I know Tillman should be starting, but let me just compare them right quick, because I know there's a reason why I don't have Tillman starting right now. So, man coverage, zone coverage is way better. He comes with the 99 hit power. He's taller. So he's lacking in tackling, but his stock speed and everything, like if I was to flip it, it'll probably show why he's starting for now. So he comes with what, 96 speed versus I think Tillman was like a 97. His man coverage and zone just go way up once you if you look at his chemistries. And I think that's the only reason he's starting, because if you have him man or anything, his coverages are just better than Tillman by a lot. And that's the main reason why he's starting. But I have a defense that has all three of them in when I come out in the quarter package. I have all three of them out on the field at the same time. And I user Jamal Adams. So it's like I have Minka and Tillman playing their positions in deep blue zones, and then I'll just be manually using Jamal Adams. So Minka and Jamal both come with a shutdown. Tillman gets selfless, and I think I've already showed you what he gets. So he enforcer, tackle supreme, lurker. All right, I'm gonna try to speed this up because I've been at this for a while. We got Brian Urlacher, Ryan Shazier, Deion Jones. I used to have Devin White. I quick sold him. I quick sold all of my gauntlet players. I had a Marshall Yanda and I had a Ty Law, and I quick sold everybody because I'm not going to be using any of them. And if I really want their cards at some point, I could always go get them. So the reason I have Urlacher right now, there probably is better linebackers. Of course, you know, you got Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis, you got all those other people. So for me personally, I like his zone and I like his catching. He's a pretty tall linebacker, and he does his job for me. Just the only problem I have with him is his man coverage. It's just like disappointing, because versus Shazier, like him boosted is not even better than Shazier's stock stats. And then Deion Jones, he comes with 81 man coverage, but the only reason why he doesn't start is because his block shed is 69 versus Urlacher's 92 block shed. So that's why Urlacher's my starter, because when it comes to running, his block shed is pretty good. But I mean, of course, I could, you know, have better linebackers, but these guys get the job done. So if anybody knows, you know, how this game goes, they know like these two are pretty, you know, solid linebackers. But of course, you know, if you get to like the Patrick Willis's, the Willie Lanier that just came out, and there's probably a few other people that I'm not thinking about right now, but he gets the job done. So I like his zone. And if you user him whenever it comes to catching, like if you put him in the zone in a deep blue and somebody tries to go over the middle, or even if you just have him in the yellow zone in the middle, he gets pretty good catching animations. And he most of the time will catch passes. So that's why I kind of have him at the moment. 79 catching for a linebacker is pretty good, and it's probably better with the stats or with the chemistry. But early on in the year, I was thinking that the two middle linebackers I was going to probably keep late game was going to end up being Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner. But early on in the year, like a lot of us noticed like how slow that Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly were, even after they dropped that retirement tribute card, and that one was still disappointing. But this Urlacher speed is pretty solid. Of course, he's not faster than Shazier, and he's probably not even faster than Deion Jones. Once Deion Jones gets that 97, or after you put the 97. But just, 94, 93 speed, I mean, he's not slow. He's just he's just not the fastest, but he's fast enough to play his position and be wherever he should be for the most part at this point in the game. Okay, so for now, I have Deion. He's like, just, you gotta have him on the team. Just for me personally, he doesn't have the best press, but if anybody, most people would understand. Like he plays his position so good. Like he reacts to a lot. He's gonna make plays for you, like just that you just it won't expect other corners to make, but you can kind of expect him to make those type of plays for you. I have Denzel Ward because of his speed, and his press is crazy. Like he has so much press. 96 press, and I don't really put any X factors. I had an X factor, and I tried it out on this night train when I had the power of passing him. I gave him Enforcer, I gave him Lurker, and he actually can get 4 abilities, because once you get up to 99, I guess you can get another ability. But for whatever reason, like I think it's maybe because his body is not as solid as like a safety's. So even though he does come with a lot of hit power, whenever I was going up to tackle a running back or something, it wouldn't really give me that animation like I was really about to hit hard. It just seemed like he was too small. So that's the main reason why I powered him down, because like, no point in wasting the X factor on somebody who doesn't really give you the best chance to cause a fumble. Like, let's see, his hit power just at a 97 or 96 is a 95, and at least, even though he's not powered up, he still can hit somebody. And then hopefully, it'll give him an opportunity to cause a fumble. But yeah, that's the only reason why he's on my team. Because at corner, not many corners get that much hit power. So for him to have a 95 hit power, that's just great. And you can see this Mel Blount, his hit power is 85. I mean, I don't get corners for hit power. I get them for coverage and speed and stuff like that. But man, I could have this Rod Woodson in my lineup right now. I don't know if I should or not though. But anyway, I might have to put him on the lineup. I could actually put him in. But anyways, um, yeah, I already explained everybody, I think. So, Mel Blunt, I may not have went over him. He's been solid. He's a gnat, so he fits in right now. Just for affordability, he gets speed. Um, his other stats are, oh, his press is crazy too. I forgot. So he gets great press. And he's a solid, balanced corner. Like, there's a whole bunch of other corners. Champ Bailey. Some people like Detravius. I forgot his name, how to pronounce his name, but White from the Bills. So I mean, you could go throughout the ultimate legends. You Willie Brown, whoever you wanna say. Like, I bet that Willie Brown, the new one that just came out, is probably bananas. But you know, who got the money to get him right now? But so for now, like Mel Blunt, man, just when I come out in that quarter package, he got good press. His speed is not the best, of course, because receivers at this point in the game, they 99 speed, 99 whatever. So yeah. Other than that, I don't have no backups. Jadavion, I guess you could put him in if they get tired, and then if he has to sub in for them. Deion Jones, he's a pretty solid coverage linebacker, so that's the only reason why he's backing up everybody else. So if they get tired, he can sub in. And he plays great coverage. He doesn't have the best block shed, but you know, eventually when I power him up, his man coverage and his zone is just it's top notch right now. So I think that covers my team. But yeah, that's the team right now. You know, let's see. I got Deion, Tyreek. You could put either one. Only reason I like Deion, he may not be faster than Tyreek, but his kick return probably better, and that must be why he's back there. And what he gets ball carrier vision. His spin move is better. But let's see, kick return. Let's check that out. Or did I pass it? One second. Kick return. 96. Oh, it's about the same. But they both the same speed. Tyreek, I think the reason why he doesn't start at kick return is because, just from my own personal experience, he fumbles. And it may be because of how small he is. I mean, I'm not saying Deion has never fumbled or that he doesn't fumble either, but I don't know. It just, maybe the body type gives Deion a better chance not to fumble, but I've seen Deion fumble too, so it's really, you know, I don't really know how to really prove it, but Tyreek Hill, he fumbles, and just at this point in the game, it doesn't even really show like how fast players really move. Like, it says 99 speed, but they be getting caught by some of the slowest people. So speed really, I don't know, it doesn't really make any difference in my opinion. They both are 99, but if I try to return a kick, they still barely get to like the 24, 25 yard line sometimes. So I don't really know how speed factors into kick return, because for whatever reason, it doesn't really seem like it matters at all. You just have to have just a moment where the blocking is just good and everything just kind of works out So I don't know, but yeah, that's that. And then let's see, substitutions. Nothing really special. Um, these two, I guess, if you play quarter defense, just to make sure that they play in the slot. I could throw in Jalen Ramsey. He's just like a backup. And other than that, that's the roster right there. But that's the team. Oh shoot, here come my weekend league. So you guys actually got to catch me open some of this stuff before I end the video. I ended up getting 15 wins this week, only because I had so many DCs this week. I had at least 7 or 8 DCs. I don't know what was going on with my internet this week, so I missed out on a lot of opportunities to get wins. And that kind of impacted how many wins I had. And then on my last game, I only needed one game to win to get 16 wins. And I had 15 wins, and I was on my last game. And I was at the red zone, and I think I either was up by like maybe 4 points or something like that. I can't remember the score at the time, but it was like a minute left, or yeah, I forgot if I was winning or losing. I can't even remember right now, but I was at the goal line pretty much about to score, and they would not let me run it in. I don't know how come. Like, I had the best plays available, and he wasn't even run committing or nothing, but every time I tried to run it in with Dickerson, they were not letting me get that 1 yard that I needed. So it was third down, and I went to pass the ball, and there was this in route I was about to run, and somehow this man comes all the way from across the field with Aaron Donald and intercepted the ball. I don't know, he caught it from behind the back of his head, intercepted it, and basically was able to drive the ball down the field enough to kick a field goal. And I lost. And because I guess he had enough time, and for whatever reason, my corners just chose not to play defense on that drive because they just allowed him to get there. Like, it is what it is, but I lost by like a field goal, or it was a close game. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, even after the fact that they were giving him so many fumbles that game, he was getting like fumbles, just random fumbles, and technically I should have won the game. Like, if I would have just nailed out the clock and kicked the field goal, he probably would have been down by like 4 points or something like that. Because I can't remember the score, but I know it was a close game. So I think if I would have just nailed the clock out as best as I could, because I don't know how many timeouts he had left, that it would have made it a lot harder for him to win, because he would have had to either score. But I just didn't want to leave it up to him scoring or whatever the reason, because I think if I would have scored that touchdown, it would have really put him out of reach. Because if I would have scored, then maybe I would have went up by 10 or something, and then he would have had to score twice with no timeouts, or at least one timeout or something like that. So I think I must have been up, maybe I was up 4 and he scored a touchdown, and that's how I lost, or something like that happened. So yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, that's what happened. So some people would they say you take the coins, right? But at this point in the game, if I end up pulling something out of this pack, it can't be worse. You know, if you take this 9,000 coins, right? Like, I don't know. You never really know what you're gonna pull out of these. I know there's not really, cause cards are so cheap now. It's kind of making me want to take the 9K. But you know, just because you might end up getting lucky, I'll try it out. Let's see what happens. Probably nobody worth 9K. Let's see, cause you never know. Every now and then you might end up pulling something. Like let's see, like that right there. That could be like 6K or something. Who knows? So I mean, I always just take chances sometimes when it comes to cheap packs. But if it's like a 65K, I'll think a little bit more twice about doing something like that. But this actually is good because I'll be trying to put legends in those little sets. All right. But yeah, so man, I could have 16 wins this week if it wasn't for that DC, for all the DCs, and then just that last game where I got screwed over. But I mean, shoot, 13 wins will do for now. Hopefully this week I don't have such a bad internet connection or something. Whatever was going on, I don't even understand how my internet has such issues. I play on Wi-Fi. I got Xfinity, and just for whatever reason, like I be having some horrible weekend league moments where it just disconnects. Even when I'm winning, I'll be winning a game 21-7 or whatever, disconnect. So they just be giving away free wins to people. I'd be getting so irritated sometimes. But I'm gonna I'll just say after I finish this video, I'm probably gonna do a gameplay just to show you guys, maybe on a head-to-head game. I'll record it, and then I'll let you guys see like my style of offense and defense and stuff, just so you guys can actually see in action how my team plays with the abilities that they have, so you guys can kind of understand why I put them on each player the way that I did. Now this right here, I don't know. We're gonna test this pack. If this pack doesn't give us anything worth 25K, then I'll just take the 25K for the next one. So let's see what we get. Wow, yeah, I'm gonna take the chance. I'm gonna take the. Now it's like you. At points like this, it's like now you want to take the other one because it can't be no worse than this, huh? Like if I pull another pack this garbage, then that's really disrespectful. So just for content, I'm gonna pull the other pack just for content. So you guys got to get you know, some footage today. Let's see if we get lucky. All right, who we got? Who y'all got for me? Oh, what the? I doubt he's even worth 25K. So that's for the content, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. But yeah, in closing, I'm gonna give one more shout out to my boy Tompkins Report. Hopefully you got to get a good glimpse of my team. I know this video might be kind of dragged out, but it was just to kind of show you like what I be doing, because I saw like your lineup and stuff like that, and I know you have like some good analysis on how you be setting up your team. So if you got any feedback, then leave some comments, or just yeah, let me know what you think and maybe you can see some gameplay from me if you decide to check out my next video that I come out with. So I guess stay tuned, and to everybody else, if you like the video, leave me a like, or leave some comments, some feedback or something like that. And if you want to see some future content, you can subscribe, and I'd appreciate it. Help the channel grow, and eventually I will be making videos on some better programs and stuff like that, because right now this is just straight broadcast from PlayStation. So yeah, so if anybody want to challenge me, man, you could ask me in the comments for my PlayStation ID or something, and then if you got a team that you're trying to compete against me with, then we could play. But I guess that's the video for today. And they didn't really give me too many. Oh, one thing I forgot to actually cover, and it sucks that I had to wait to this point far in the video, but there's one thing I did not show you guys. It's my coach, my head coach. So right now I have this John Madden, and the reason why I just remembered is because I just got my weekend league trophies. So at the moment he is powered up. He has 2 rushing defenses powered up. He has 2 pass defenses powered up. He has the physical tier with the speed powered up, and he has the passing powered up. So next power up, I guess, or next upgrade I get, I think it's gonna be another physical chem, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is a physical chem, so that's gonna give me that boost with acceleration. So that's gonna be just, nice to finally get that second upgrade. And then after that, I'll be able to put Madden rushing. So yeah, you can see most of my stuff is catered to my defense and passing game for now. So yeah, I'm halfway there to get that second unlock for Madden. So some people, they have like, what are they called? Like theme teams. I mean, I rock with the 49ers. That's my team. I'm from San Francisco, so of course I gotta use my home team jerseys and stuff like that. But my playbooks, this Jets offense, it has some plays in there that are just crazy. Like, man, I don't know how I can go over it without showing you guys firsthand. So maybe in the next video I'll just be able to explain plays that I use and why I have these playbooks, because this playbook, at least I can explain this. It comes with the 3-4. It has the nickel 3-3-5. It has the quarter plays that I like, and it has some it has big nickel plays. What else? It has a lot of variety. Like earlier this year, I would have preferred to use I tried to use the 4-3, because I used to use the 4-3 over back in Madden 18, but the purple zones in this game are just broken. Like, the defense would not cover those zones no matter what kind of adjustments I tried to make. So I had to start using this 3-4 odd, because that cover 4 drop show 2 is just it's not 100% unstoppable, but for me personally, like, I could send pretty much all kind of blitzes out of that, play different coverages out of that. That's just my base defense. But I'll show you guys how it looks in the next video. So there it is. That's my team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys are looking forward to, you know, the next video, then just leave me some feedback on this one. Tell me, guys, what you thought about it. Tell me, you know, if you guys have any screenshots or some other kind of things that I can take a look at on maybe social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I'll try to either leave a link to my social media in the description, and you guys can either send me some stuff to my social media, either Instagram. I do have a Twitter. I don't really go on Twitter that much, but every now and then I go on there. But I do use Instagram a lot, and sometimes I do use Facebook as well. So other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you guys next time. So see you later.